Audio.etc is proudly supported by Auto Sound and Security. Hey guys, how's it going? James here from Audio.etc, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about what channels I personally watch on YouTube. So this is a video I've had just a couple of requests for, and it seems like sort of thing that a lot of YouTubers do, so I thought, you know, I'm not doing anything else today. As you can see, I'm not really doing a car, so I might as well make a video about something. So here you go. These are the people I watch on YouTube. I'm gonna start off with like the car audio ones and then sort of phase through to the ones that are not so car focused. But basically, number one, the first ever car audio channel I watched on YouTube, the one that got me into like kind of making videos about it, the big man himself, Steve Mead. YouTube channel Mead916. He's got 484,671 subscribers. He does such awesome stuff. I found him the way most people find his channel, a video of him playing some absolutely massive bass in his Tahoe, and usually he's doing a hair trick with some girl making the hair fly up. That's how I found his channel. I started, you know, watching him to see more about how he had done that Tahoe, because at the time that was the absolute biggest sound system I'd ever seen in a car, and I thought it was absolutely insane. It inspired me to put the 215s in my Lignum at the time, which obviously is nothing compared to him, but still, I enjoy bass. He does really cool stuff. I really don't think I need to explain to you guys what sort of stuff he does on his channel, because what are the chances that you guys watch me but you don't watch him? But just in case there's someone out there who follows me, hey, this is Grant, you know him. Santa's gotten a bit rough, as you can tell. He's going a bit white in the, yeah, he's going a bit white in the beard, eh? He's getting old. Old and slow. Can you make that noise you have to make every time you get up and down? Sounds like he's sitting on a motorbike. But yeah, like I watched pretty much absolutely all of his channel over the space of a few weeks after finding him. I watched the whole Tahoe build, the rebuild, the Lexus build. After I had subscribed to him, he started doing some really cool things because he got his Razor 4x4. He put that awesome Rockford Fosgate sound system in it with, I believe, a 6th order bandpass box with 2 P2s. It was a really cool little system. He got that toy hauler, which he put his Razor in. I feel like that project kind of almost stalled a wee bit. He started doing some really cool stuff with it and saying he's going to do a big job, and then it kind of all of a sudden just disappeared off the face of the earth. He still has it, but he just doesn't film it anymore. What else has he done? Oh, his awesome, huge, like 4,000 watt sound system that he has just in his workshop with the, what does he call them, the towering towers, with all the Rockford Fosgate speakers and the SMD woofers. He just does so much cool stuff, but his videos are so like, I don't know, in a good way, like they're kind of homemade style, you know? He just uses his iPhone for filming and he gets heaps of views for it, so kudos to him. So he's number one. Number two, the next one that I'd say I found, I'm doing these kind of in order of which I found them on YouTube for the car audio ones anyway. The next one that I would have found would have been Doug Bernard's Soundman, YouTube channel Soundman CA, or one word. I'm just saying these things for the hell of it. I found him the way also a lot of people would have found his channel, the $1 million bandpass box. That thing was absolutely beautiful. What did he make it out of? Like layered, I've forgotten the wood that he used, but it looks like birch, like layered birch. The ports go all over the place. It's one little 8-inch woofer, cork, glass. It was amazing. And that's sort of said to me when I saw that for the first time, this guy really knows his fabrication, and he's a big SQ fan, because that is a very specific box design, so he obviously must know a lot about acoustics. And then I started watching him and realized actually he just likes to make a lot of jokes about his Mexican friend's mum. But in all seriousness, he is absolutely a really, you know, high level SQ fan. He obviously knows a lot about sound quality, acoustics, fabrication. Once you get past his personality, he has got a lot to offer in the car audio world. But yeah, so Doug Bernard's Soundman. He does do very awesome fabrication, and I wish that I was up to his level. And I love the way that he's not afraid to try anything. Like, to put it in perspective, obviously from his past, he's been doing car audio on YouTube I think for quite a long time. He had Amplified for quite a few seasons, like at least 5 or 6 seasons, where he was working either, I honestly don't know, I didn't watch much of his old stuff, but he either was working for himself or his dad or something at an older shop. So as I was saying, one thing that I really like about Doug Bernard's is his attitude towards absolutely trying anything, because with all the, like most of his, working career, I'm guessing he's done just prominently car audio stuff, box building, fabrication, installs and that sort of thing. But then when it came to, his Volkswagen Mule, his funny little truck thing with his awesome his awesome SQ system in it, he had, mechanical issues, transmission issues, all sorts of stuff. And he is just 100% self-taught, and he taught himself pretty much how to rebuild, rewire and tune an engine. I think the only piece of work I have seen him outsource to date is him getting his Volkswagen transmission completely like rebuilt and cleaned and everything like that. That's the only thing I've seen him outsource. So the fact that he's willing to give anything a go is really cool, because I would definitely never in a million years know how to build, like deconstruct and rebuild and then tune an engine, or do an engine swap as he recently has just done. I think his Volkswagen engine blew up, and so he put a Subaru one in, or Subaru, and he pretty much just sort of figured it out as he went, and it's working. Like, it's really, really good, self-teaching skills, so he can obviously learn very quickly. So props to you, Doug. The next channel on the list that I watch is Car Audio Fabrication, starring Mark. He is amazing at fabrication. He does really, really good work, and I really love the way he does his YouTube videos as well. He obviously spends a lot of time setting up each individual shot. Like, one could say that he's really good at filmmaking as well, because he spends a lot of time, as I say, setting up each individual shot for his car audio stuff, and caring a lot about the start of the video and the end of the video, and kind of planning each one as he does it. Whereas, someone like me, I literally just pick up the camera and say, hi, how's it going? This is what we're doing today, and then I take you guys with me as I do it. He makes shots, starting out, hi, this is what we're going to do today. You'll see this a bit later on. He knows exactly what he's going to do. So he puts a lot more effort into the actual filming of it than me, So props to him, because that's going to be a lot of work. There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that a lot of you guys might not realize. That's an MR2, by the way. Just the clutch for the aerial at the back around here is buggered, and the front left woofer was buggered. But I don't know if we actually did anything to it. So props to you, Mark, because it seems like you put a lot of effort into your filming and making of the videos. And by the way, yeah, he's sponsored by Mobile Solutions, so he does absolutely everything to the letter perfectly, to spec. He does all of his fabrication is the way that it should be done professionally. And I don't say this lightly, if money was no object. He's sponsored by Mobile Solutions, so he gets all those tools pretty much given to him for free so that he can show how to use them. A cheap old garage like where I work, we cannot afford that. But it's cool to, see how things could be done absolutely professionally with all that equipment. The next channel that I watch is one that I've just sort of gotten into recently. They're an awesome bunch of guys, and they're really, really, really helping my channel out a lot by plugging it all the time, and that is 5 Star Car Stereo. So the two guys in it, Dean and Fernando, they're awesome, and I relate to them a lot, because unlike the previous 3 channels that I just mentioned, they pretty much have the same job as me. So you think about Steve Mead, he's pretty much a business owner. He's got many cars, huge sound systems, rich compared to me. Doug Bernards, again, he's self-employed, he does his own thing, and he does only very high-end stuff. And then Mark, he's sponsored and he does really great tutorials. But 5 Star, they pretty much have the same job as me. I'm employed as a technician or an installer to just straight up install basic things into cars. Yes, I would love to, get every single car in and say, okay, so you want something good? Well, it's going to have to be Focal Utopia, I'd love to put those huge sound systems in and put in DSPs and amplifiers and go active, because that's what everyone on YouTube seems to want these days. I would love to go active. But guys, Dean and Fernando will understand this when I say that it's not actually up to me. If the customer wants to only spend $100 or $200 on a set of speakers, a cheap set, then I'm going to install that. And if I think it's a good video, I'll put it on YouTube. Yes, it's not a big, expensive, fancy system, but it's what the customer wanted. And I think that's where I related to Dean and Fernando a lot, because, one thing I would say, unlike me, Dean and Fernando, they work at a shop. Now, I'm pretty sure the actual name of the shop is also 5-Star Car Stereo. And they've got like a sales team. I believe Paul is their boss. I'm not sure who else, you know, works in their team, but they've got like a sales team, and then Dean and Fernando, where they're the install team, kind of like me and Grant. Sometimes I think where they work, that gets a wee bit disjointed, and what can end up happening is a sales member will sell something to a customer and the customer will go sweet, and then the install people, who often have a lot of really good technical background knowledge, will go, oh no. I don't know if that happens a lot, but I can see it happening when you do have, you know, separate teams for different departments. Whereas I'm quite fortunate because I myself do a lot of the selling here at Auto Sound. It's just me, and that's Grant. There's the other one there, Pat. Like, it's just me and him doing the selling, and it's good that I get to do a lot of the selling as well, because when the installer can, you know, tell customers what to put in, means I'm going to be happy to put it in, unless of course they don't want to spend much money. But yeah, so those guys are really awesome, and if you, obviously all these channels are bigger than mine, but if by any chance you haven't come across any of them, do go ahead and, you know, obviously watch some of their videos, definitely subscribe because they're better than me. So yeah, Dean and Fernando, 5-Star Car Stereo. Hi Dean, because I know you'll probably be watching this. Thank you again for plugging my show almost every live stream you do. Really, really appreciate it. So yeah, go check them out. Next on the list for car audio. This is a pretty new channel that I've only just I came across it by chance, and it's not a huge channel either. I think he's actually around about the same size as me. I'm just gonna look it up. Okay, his YouTube channel, and obviously his name, is Matt Schaefer. And I've been trying to recommend this guy to anyone I can, because his channel, so I'm bigger than him now, channel-wise. He's got 5,033 subscribers, so he's not huge. He's like me. I'm trying to, you know, help his channel grow a wee bit. This guy, Matt Schaefer, now it's spelt funny, so if you want to watch it, open another tab and type this in. Matt, with 2 T's, space, S-C-H-A-E-F-F-E-R. Yeah, it's obviously just a hard to spell name, if you heard it. So now this guy, he does, oh my God, he does some of the best fabrication I think that I have ever seen. He does like the highest of the high audiophile level upgrades into rich people's cars like Teslas, Jaguars. He does a lot more Teslas than anything else. High-end BMWs, Teslas, and pretty much all of those real fancy European cars. I wonder if he's in Europe somewhere, because I haven't seen him do a single American car. But all you need to do is go over and check out his channel, and instantly you guys will see what I mean by the level of his work. One example, you know, it's all very well and good being able to make a really nice amp display panel. Obviously someone like Mark, he can do that really well. But one thing that stands out for me is when I saw the inside of one of Matt's subwoofer boxes. So all of his subwoofer boxes that I've seen so far, he does fiberglass ones, but obviously he also does layered, stacked MDF ones. And this is gonna be really hard to explain. So obviously you got the floor, and then if you're doing a stack of wood, you're obviously just making like the perimeter of the box. So you cut, say it's just a square, you cut the outside, but then the inside, what he does is it's all squiggly like this, right? So it's squiggly on the inside, a really weird shape. And then the next layer up is the same, but all the squiggles are offset or out of phase actually by 180 degrees. And basically what it does is it means that purely out of cutting the wood this way, it basically soundproofs the box. It like basically you've got your own sound deadening material made out of the wood, you know? And that goes all the way around his box. And then obviously he soundproofs it as well with, you know, different types of material, polyfill. I like this. He's the only other YouTuber I have seen to use Focal BAM, which you guys know I love. So I like that he uses that. And he must be in Europe somewhere. So if you haven't seen his channel, definitely go and check it out. If you like fabrication, his stuff is immaculate. Perfect. So that's Matt Schaefer. The one other YouTube channel that I might mention, but I wouldn't really say actually is on the list because I don't watch them. Like these are sort of channels where I watch every single video that they upload these days. This channel I watch occasionally, and I think he just deserves a mention. That would be Old School Car Stereo, Big D Wiz. And I only mention him because I do like what he does, but I don't watch every single video of his. If you are unaware, most of his videos are doing amp dynos of new amps, old amps, small amps, big amps, because he's got one of Steve Meade's, he's got one of their awesome 2-channel big amp dyno machines, which tells you what potential power output it can do. And he just tries, like, he gets amps sent to him, like really old school ones. I think that's one thing he really loves, is the old school stuff. He does those ones, new ones, small things, all sorts of stuff, which is really cool that he's putting that out there, because a lot of amps these days don't actually come with birth certificates to tell you how much power they put out, so it's good that he's, you know, kind of providing that service to people. But to be honest, I only really ever watch his channel if it's a new modern amp that I know. For instance, you guys know that I love Rockford Fosgate, so I'm always interested to see what a Rockford Fosgate amp can do, especially since they do come out with birth certificates and really good ratings, so it's good to compare them. Or if it's something, you know, old school and something I've never seen before, you know, like something from the 70s, 80s or 90s that is pretty much before I'm born. I'm always interested to see what car amplifiers from that sort of era can do as well. But just an honourable mention to Big D Wiz. Doesn't quite make the list of videos that I watch daily or religiously, but just an honourable mention. And that's pretty much all the car audio channels that I watch. Moving away from car audio and into, not out of cars, but into something else. Another car channel that I watch that, as I've said, isn't car audio. Actually, they're not entirely not car audio, because I know that these guys can do car audio installs, and quite, you know, high-end ones as well, but that's not their main business. So this channel's name is Janna Mize. They're located in England somewhere. I actually don't know where. Yanni is the owner of the business, and his business is called Janna Mize, and it's a wrapping company. They wrap cars in vinyl. It's, if you've never heard of it before, it's the same as painting your car, except this can be peeled off, and I really like it. And they work with some absolutely amazing cars. They work with all the, like, the luxuries, the sports, the super sports, the hyper sports, luxury vehicles. Apparently they've got a huge, like, 3 or 4 month long waiting list, and it's really cool to see, like, these super high-end cars that I could never dream of affording getting modified and upgraded and color changed. And not just like, oh, we're changing it from red to yellow or blue or something. Like, they'll do full chrome. Their most popular color is satin black, because a lot of people out there, I think particularly like celebrities or well-known people, want kind of a stealth car so that they don't get recognized, so they go satin black. Yanni just did, Lamborghini. They do a lot of Lamborghinis. One thing that Yanni just did recently, because he just recently hit 1 million subscribers, and he's already at 1,054,000. He wrapped his Lamborghini Aventador, is it an Aventador? Aventador S? I can't remember. He wrapped it with a printed decal, not just a color, like an actual, it comes out of a printer with like pretty much 1 million, all 1 million of his subscribers' profile pictures on the print. So now his car is just a massive collage of tiny little squares with everyone's faces and logos on it. I thought that was a really cool 1 millionth subscriber video sort of thing. But if you haven't checked that out, if you haven't seen that channel already, and you like cars, especially luxury ones, go over and check out his channel, Janna Mize. And probably the last one that I would say that has to do with cars is this young YouTuber. He's actually about my age. I think he's 1 year younger than me. His name is AdamLZ. He doesn't do anything car audio related, but I first started watching him when he was just like a pro BMXer. I think he must be 23 now, because I'm 24. He was a pro BMXer for a while. He's an entrepreneur and he loves cars. Like, for the most part of his channel now, he's been quite a skilled drifter. So he's got like a 240 SX, he's got a S15, his wife has a 240 SX. He's got a Mustang at the moment that I think he's gonna sell, like a brand new Shelby one. He's got a BMW, which he's had forever and refuses to let go of, and like a brand new Ford F250 or F150, I think. I just love it because he's like my age and he's pretty much winning at life. He's got his own business and everything, and he does a lot of drifting and BMX stuff, and he's like a vlogger, so that's the other channel I watch. If you want to check him out, you can. I'll put the link. And the other reason I really like it for some reason is his wife is surprisingly similar to my fiance Jess. His wife Nicole and Jess, personality-wise, like I feel like they could have been separated at birth or something, because they seem very similar. Okay, now moving completely away from cars, these are just a few other channels that I enjoy to watch. They're more as a result of my personality than my occupation. The first one would be Everything Apple Pro. I'm a huge Apple fan, I'm probably gonna buy the iPhone 10. If you think it's a ridiculous amount of money to spend on a phone, I don't care, I'm probably still gonna buy it. And this 5S is getting a bit old and clunky anyway. So I watch him because he has a lot of, cool updates and features, and he tells us a lot about the leaks for what is gonna be coming out in Apple's future. If you're an Android fan, that is fine. I'm not having a go, I like Apple. The next one is, now the name of it is just HISHE, like Hizzy, but it stands for How It Should Have Ended. They do really cool kind of renditions, animated renditions of famous movies, and it's kind of what it is described as, how it should have ended. And it's all comedy based, it's meant to be funny. Like, they just point out really funny plot holes in movies and how realistically, if it was like a real world situation, it would have ended. And it's all funny and fun and games, so I like their videos. And they do a really good job of all the Marvel and Star Wars, pretty much, like all those sort of geeky things out there. So that's How It Should Have Ended, or Hizzy. They're good fun. The next and the last one is Super Carlin brothers. You will learn this about me. I'm a bit of a geek. I watch that sort of, childish humor. I grew up with like Pixar and Disney and all that crap, and it still lives on in me now. So the Super Carlin brothers, they're kind of, I would say, almost the founders of the Pixar theory, if you've heard of it. If you haven't, it basically just says that all the Pixar movies made to date exist in the same universe along one massive timeline. If you're curious about how that can actually even be possible, go to the Super Carlin brothers channel and check out their video on the Pixar theory. It's really, really interesting. But they do, mostly geeky, childish stuff. They're grown men. They're in their sort of late 20s, early 30s. But some of us just like to stay young at heart. So now that you guys know that I'm a geek, what the chair just like. And that is pretty much all of the YouTube channels that I watch. Remember, this is just the list of ones that I watch every single time they come out with a video. I'm straight on there, notification squad, watching those videos. I love all of these channels, they're great. And I highly recommend you check any of them out if you're interested. And that is my video for you guys today. I'm sorry that it didn't have anything to do with an actual job or car. By the way, that's Grant's motorbike if you were wondering. It's just a little 125cc Suzuki. He loves Suzuki. Yeah, thank you guys for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Have yourselves a good weekend. By the way, I'm gonna put a poll up in the corner here. I'm gonna put a poll up. What would you guys like me to make next? Because sadly I do have to tell you that I don't have many car related jobs coming up, so I'm trying to keep you guys entertained with a few interesting videos out there like this. What would you like to see next? My top 5 favorite installs for the year, or my 5 or 10 most favorite and least favorite things about my car Judy, my 2014 Legacy. What one of those videos would you guys like to see next? Vote on the poll that I will stick up in this corner, and when I've got nothing else to film on a day, I will go on, check which one is winning, and film that video. Thanks guys for watching, choose to be happy, and I will catch you in the next video. Kite Ano.